There we go. Another great episode. Power Slap Road to the Title 3 episode number 7 in the books. We get 4 fights for the first time this year. And of course, they didn't disappoint. The matchmaking, once again, flawless. Another great time, my man. How excited were you to see those matchups? We get some light heavies this time around.
Yeah, man. I mean, light heavy, it seems like they didn't get a whole lot of representation in this season. Thankful we were able to get 2 fights in there at the end there. Although I was a little surprised that Brandon Rhodes fought at light heavy. Obviously, he's not a light heavyweight guy. He fought at middleweight for Power Slap 8. So that was an interesting one. But I think nonetheless, like you said, I think the matchmaking has done really well. Of course, fouls is something that you see you can't control. But overall, I think that these guys stack up the right 2 people against each other.
Absolutely. I mean, Canada represented loud and proud. Bordeaux, that's the second win. Josh Boisvert, also from Ontario. So Canada representing once again. And yes, I am biased being up here. We're going to see Boisvert next week. We got teased it at the very ending against your Long Island, King de Frank. We're going New York versus Toronto. It's going down. We're going to see how that one's going to go. Excited to see these guys get up there and show themselves the way that they deserve. Obviously Bryce, got into it in the house before. Did we expect anything different than what we saw?
I mean, I think the louder person and the one with the more energy was Devan Helm. That's not to say that the quiet guys don't always that the quiet guys can't win. I think Bryce represented himself as sort of the silent killer type of guy. Unfortunately for Devan, he didn't really have an opportunity to respond. But Bryce goes out there, has an emphatic performance. And you know what? The truth is, these are the best days at the office for a slap fighter, right? You go up there, you clean their clock round 1, don't get any fouls called, and you walk away with your win money unscathed.
Absolutely. Let's bring Bryce in right now. Bryce, what's up, my man?
Hey, guys. What's up?
Doing good. You know what? I want to say right off the bat, my man, I want to, give you props to move all the way out of your hometown, go to Las Vegas to try to make a name for yourself. Big props, man. A lot of people dream of it. Most people never do it, but you did it, my man. So congratulations.
Hell yeah, man. It was definitely a hell of a journey to get out here, but, I've been out here for 10 years and just making it happen as best as I can, and I haven't had any real big issues with it, Been out here surviving, making it happen.
Awesome, my man. I mean, you're a big dude. I need you to turn that camera sideways. We need to get more width. You're looking a little slim. There we go.
There we go.
Awesome, my man. Talk to us about the overall experience. Talk about us in the house. We've seen that you had a little bit of headbutting with Devan ahead of time.
Yeah.
Talk to me what it was like being in there, and did things just get under your skin?
I mean, really, the show really didn't get under my skin too bad. I mean, a little bit of the drinking did, especially when it got late nights. But yeah, most of it wasn't that bad. The thing with Devan, I mean, in his videos, he seemed like he was very loud and vocal, but like in the house, he was very kind of shut down. He really didn't hang out with any of us as far as I could see. And, he just kind of be upstairs hanging out by himself, or a couple guys would be up there with him. So
yeah,
I was just trying to get him pissed off and riled up. I want to see where he was at. I wanted a good match, and I just feel like he was going to kind of be a little intimidated. So I just was like, well, let's piss him off, So if he's going to hit me first, let's get it all, So
absolutely. Was it weird? I mean, being a native but live, I guess, reside in Nevada at this point in Las Vegas. Was it kind of like being in the house, just being in another house in your town? Was it kind of awkward or weird to not have connectivity to your job or your friends, family, etc., even though you're like just down the street type of thing?
Yeah, it did for me. Like the other guys didn't. Half time they forgot that I was from here or that I was living here.
Yeah.
And so that was very weird, because I could see all the things that I drive by every day, like especially going, to practice every day. We're driving right by where I used to train at Extreme Couture. Like I would see that same area, every day. So
yeah,
for me, it was very motivating because I'd went through a lot during that time and being in those areas and stuff like that. So
yeah.
was very motivating for me.
Awesome, man. I mean, obviously, Extreme Couture, where Sean Strickland's at now. We've seen Sean Strickland on Road to the Title Season 3. We've seen Colton Cole do an ill-advised boxing round with Sean Strickland. Any good stories about Sean in the gym?
You know, I was kind of out of the gym when he kind of came in. I'd seen him a few times. Okay. I think I was trained a couple times in the gym, but he was always real nice. He's always just giving advice to guys. Never saw him say anything bad or, you know, going crazy in there. It was all good, positive stuff. Every time I walked by him, he'd just be giving out good advice, you know.
Awesome, man. Dave, you have anything for Bryce before we get into the footage?
Yeah, Bryce, congratulations. You know, obviously I talked about it while you were backstage. The best nights are when you go up there, you have performance like that, and you go home. But in your case, you've never had a slap fight before. Yeah. Is there a part of you at this point in time? Again, we don't know what happens in round 2, you know, but we can assume based on your win that you move on to round 2. But at this point in time, are you a little bit, I don't know if disappointed is the right word, but maybe kind of like, oh, you know, dang, I didn't get to experience the slap for the first time. So now I'm going into my second slap fight, and this is, in theory, going to be the first time I absorb a slap?
Yeah, to that point, I even said in one of my interviews, I wanted him to go first because I knew what was going to happen. I was pretty confident in myself, to be honest, like not trying to be cocky or really anything, but I knew if I'm going first, I'm probably going to be going last. So I kind of wanted to eat one just so everyone could see, like, I could take that, you know. But, I mean, I was definitely you know, I was trash talking to him a little bit, you know, telling him to get up and shit. But I did want him to get up, you know. I wanted to eat one in front of, you know, everybody and shrug it off and crack him again, you know. But just not how it played out, you know. Just got that one and done.
Yeah, let's talk about something that we saw early on in the show. Obviously, you guys get into a little bit of an engagement at the house, and the moment that everybody talks about is him taking his pants off. Yeah. What is going through your mind as this guy you guys are having a conversation, and the first thing he does is drops his pants to around his ankles?
Yeah. He did surprise me when he started taking his pants off. I knew what he was doing. You know, he didn't want to get caught up, you know, with his pants. You know, he had kind of joggers on, you know, so I got what he was doing, but I knew his mic was hooked to his pants, so it wasn't just going to come down. And so I was just like, screw it, you trying to fuck me, bro? And just kind of went from there. But it really, none of it bothered me. I wanted to get him fired up. I mean, that was really my whole purpose of what I even said to him. I just wanted to get him pissed off. You know, I just felt like he needed a little extra encouragement to hit me. So I was just trying to help him out.
All right, a couple more from me. You decided to go right on one. It's your first strike. Obviously, you measured, but what gave you the confidence to know that, you know, you wouldn't need to continuously wind up and you would be able to hit him on the button that first time?
Well, like leading up, I was training, doing the on 3. I was doing the wind up, getting on the show, meeting Pono, talking to him. He was trying to show me like his style of the way he likes to do it. And just through that, I changed it from 3 to on 1 because the style that he showed me just worked so much better. I felt like I had way more power behind my slap. So I just went with that. So then over the course of the few days leading up to the fight, I just trained it just every day. Just did it at the house, did it when we went to the gym. In my room, just working on just the motion of my legs to keep my feet on the ground, stuff like that. So I was pretty confident by the time I got to the actual fight. I was already confident doing the style of the 1, 2, 3 on 3. But yeah, just that going on 1, it just felt way better. I'm very explosive, so just felt like it was going to work out way better.
Yeah, I mean, it's great insight. It's not the first time that we've heard Pono has influenced some guys in their striking. So very interesting to see. Just a couple more from me, and again, I want to be mindful of your time, and we appreciate you joining us. You had a moment with Turpin afterwards. Obviously, Turpin's a light heavyweight. You fought at heavyweight. He missed weight twice. There's a lot of stuff going on there. At the point that this was filmed, though, he hadn't missed weight a second time.
Yeah.
So you guys had a bit of a moment. It seemed like he came over to congratulate you. We see now on the show he was kind of critical of his fighter. But you didn't seem to be so interested, and he almost kind of just backed off and said, all right, yep, we're good. And you said, I'll see you real soon. So there's a couple layers to that. Number one, was there a problem that we missed that created that kind of animosity where you just didn't seem interested in hearing from him? And then number two, he fights at light heavyweight. So what are you thinking? Are you thinking you go to light heavyweight to fight him, or do you think he comes up to heavyweight and sees you at some point?
Okay, so there's a lot they're not really showing. There was some stuff as I was weighing in. I told him, hey, I'll see you there, Florida boy. But there was a lot of like back and forth between the two of us. He knew I was from Arkansas, and obviously he just beat Ron and all that. So Ron's from Arkansas. So there was a lot of trash talk on him to me once I was on Robert Trujillo's team. So there was a lot of just back and forth. Anytime there was camera, not a camera, it didn't matter. We were just kind of jabbing back and forth. And you said he's a light heavyweight fighter. I mean, this makes twice he's not made weight. So I'd say he's not a light heavyweight fighter. He's a heavyweight fighter. So, I mean, if he needs some proper motivation, and if anyone's listening that needs to hear this, I'll give him all that fucking motivation to go back down to 205 if he needs it. And then on me possibly going to 205, I could see myself at one day, because I'm getting a little bit leaner, trying to get in better shape. So at some point I might be at 205. And if he's there, I might help him out, get him on down to like, I don't know, 85 or something like that, or maybe even drop down to 170 or something.
Sorry, you want to drop to 170?
No, Austin Turpin.
Okay. I was gonna say okay.
I might give him some really good motivation. He might be Turk Daddy slim pretty soon.
And then a final one from me. When you were getting your hand raised, you were holding something in your hand. What were you holding, and what does that mean to you?
I was holding my dad's necklace. He passed away a few years ago, and I wish I would have been able to tell him all about this experience and him being able to see it. But yeah, he passed away a couple years ago, and that was his necklace that he worn for, I think he had it for like 5 years. He wore it every day. So I just had that with me.
Well, rest in peace to your dad, man. I'm sure that he's extremely proud of you. And seeing you on that big stage, I'm sure he was right there with you, man. Corey?
Yeah, Bryce, one last one. Did you know, I know Dana made a kind of an emphasis on it on the show. Did you know that Devan had a slap score of 100 more than you did? And did that sink into your mind at all going into the match?
No, because I didn't really care about those slap scores at all. I know you guys probably heard it, but the way they had us hit that cube, I mean, you got to score me just like more or less just my arm. That was it. Like, it was up against the wall. I couldn't really do any technique or do anything, or I'd just slam up against the wall. So, I mean, a lot of guys are twisting, turning, karate chopping it, punching it, forearm mostly hit it. I mean, I didn't really count those as anything, and then I didn't really care about them, So those guys that are putting all their money that have the huge slap score, go ahead and keep dreaming, keep thinking that it's going to help you at all if you're facing me, because it's not.
Awesome, my man. I know this is a quick one. Let's run through it. I want you to narrate with me, all right, my man, through the fight.
All righty.
So as I said, I alluded to the slap score earlier. Otherwise, you are giving up, 12 pounds in this match. So you're saying you're trying to get in better shape instead of trying to add weight right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of like standing around the same way, but I'm getting a little bit thinner. But probably pretty soon I'll probably get down a little bit more.
There we go, man. Right on one with a measure. And he buckles immediately. How good does that feel?
I felt pretty good. I mean, I knew as soon as I made contact that I had it, although it was kind of like in slow motion to me. So it was kind of like, I thought he just ate it and then he was just still standing. But then I noticed that his eyes kind of rolled in the back of his head, and I was like, oh, never mind. And then I just went on about my business and celebrated. But
yeah,
I thought there for a second he did eat it, though.
I mean, there's something to be said because, recently on a podcast, the Crazy Hawaiian talked about the on-off switch actually being here, not here.
Yeah.
And as soon as you hit him and his head twisted around, it wasn't that it was so much an incredibly powerful blow, but it was a precision blow that literally it was almost an instantaneous off switch and down, and he had no chance.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me about how flawless that was. Cause I mean, one of the cleanest strikes that we've seen in a while.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, just working months leading up to doing the competition, I was just working precision over and over and over. Making sure my feet were down, because I knew if I hit somebody, if my feet are up, I'm probably going to get disqualified because they're going to call a step or whatever. So I was just working that more than anything. So it was just, I got really good at just hitting right on the money, on the target every single time. So I knew I could just throw everything I had into any strike that I threw and not worry about, like, is this going to land any particular where. I knew exactly where it was going to land when I took my hand off of his face to wind up, more or less.
Awesome, my man. It was a pleasure having you. Appreciate you breaking it down and giving us some additional insight that we didn't see on the show. Hopefully we'll have you back real soon and we'll get into the behind the man that we've seen up there on stage. All right, my dude.
All right, man.
All right. Take care. Much love.
Yeah, thanks for talking to you guys, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Starting the show off with a banger. Round 1 victory for Bryce Jones. We're going to keep on going on. We've got the guests lining up. We're going to bring in fellow Canadian, Cody. How you doing, my man?
Hey, how's it going, boys?
I'm doing really good. You got the Canadian accent going on.
Always,
And you still got the stash, looking big and sexy.
Yeah, I can't grow the beard, so the stash got to stay.
Awesome, my man. We're seeing a ton of Canadians on now. What are we up to? 5, 6?
I believe something around that, yeah, and they're all doing fucking amazing.
Yeah. We got Brandon Bordeaux saying it was the first Canadian victory, but I had to correct him and say it was the second. We keep on showing up. I mean, who knew? Obviously, Erica, the matchmaker, originally from Ontario as well originally. She seems to be going to the Great White North to find these gems to put into Power Slap. Overall, we hear a lot of the guys say that we just get, a snippet of, the overall footage that they have. I mean, you're there for, a couple of weeks, so they obviously can't fit it all in. Talk to me about being there in the house. What was it like with, 20 plus other guys?
Honestly, like it was a hell of an experience. I didn't really expect to get along with everybody as well as I did, but when I was there, I really I grew a family there. Honestly, between all the guys there, like they're a bunch of beauties. Like I thought there was going to be like more bad blood between everybody, but everybody became family. It was very unexpected.
Awesome, man. I mean, I'm sure you knew a couple of days earlier that you're going to go up against Bryce. You see, he's got the tattoos. He kind of plays it off on the show as the tattooed nice guy. We see he's got a family and everything else. But what did you think of him from in the house before going up?
Honestly, Bryce is a good guy. I have nothing bad to say about him. He was all around a beauty. I got along with him. We didn't have bad blood or nothing like that. But it's all for the camera. You got to put on a show, right?
Absolutely, you do. This match taking place in the light heavyweight division. Is that kind of your natural home where you think you'll be?
Yeah, I'll probably sit into the light heavyweight for a while. I could see myself going down to 185. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I'll probably sit in the 205 and clean that division up a little bit.
Awesome, man. One last one for me before I throw it the ding. But where in Ontario were you from? I didn't hear it on the show.
It's a little small town called Angus. It's just north. It's about an hour north of Toronto.
Okay, awesome. So up by Barrie.
Yeah, actually just outside of Barrie, about 10 minutes outside of Barrie.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I'm actually from Northern Ontario originally, so.
Oh, right on.
Connection, dude. Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, man, Cody. Obviously, congratulations. Not the way that anybody generally wants to win, but a win nonetheless. You're able to dish out a strike and also absorb one. Uh-oh.
Oh, did we lose him?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Sorry about that. You're able to dish out a strike and also absorb one. So again, congratulations. My hats off to you. My first question is about your relationship with your coach. You were pretty You showed a lot of praise to him. You said that you loved the guy. You felt like he embodied your energy. I mean, can you break that down a little bit? Why was it that you felt so close to Austin Turpin, a guy who, we're finding more and more guys either love or they hate. There's not really a ton of in between.
Honestly, with me and Turpin, I found we connected a lot because like we both had that same fucking raw dog energy. Like we're fucking there to fucking take over, like. Like he brought that fucking animal out of me. Like it was just a fucking great experience. Like I don't even know how to explain it. Like he brought it out of me. He fucking brought that animal out of me with the energy that he brought to the table.
And did any part of you kind of think in the back of your head like you may stand across from him at some point in your career if you're at 205 and he's at 205?
100%. If he's in the way of the belt, he's in the way of the belt. It's all business when it comes down to that.
Yeah, and then talk to me about your combat sports background. What kind of experience do you have, if any, even if there's any just generally in sports that kind of gave you the idea or the inkling that, hey, you know what, I could do this. I think I could really be successful in this sport.
I'm not going to say I have any professional combat experience, but the amount of street fights and bar fights that I've been in, I've realized that if I'm doing it for free, I might as well get paid for it. So my buddies kind of convinced me to go for it, and I went for it.
Yeah, and the final one for me, when you think about a guy like Bryce, obviously, has quite a bit of power. I mean, what do you think his future holds? Do you think that that's a guy that would have a future in this sport, despite unfortunately having a foul and that rendered you unable to continue, or do you feel like he should kind of be done, being that he did some form of illegal damage to you?
I mean, like it was a pretty heavy foul in the neck. Like the power was there, but like if that was in the chin, I probably would have ate it. The neck slap kind of took off that airway, so like it was hard for me to actually like catch a breath. And you can kind of see it in the episode. It was definitely a little struggle, but I mean, he could continue the sport for sure. Like if he's got the balls to continue, then why not?
Yeah, absolutely, Core.
Yeah, my man. Let's get into it. Let's watch it back here. We see you guys both come under the weight limit by 3 pounds each.
Yeah, I worked hard for that.
You worked a little too hard, didn't you? Talk me through this, my man.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't see it, brother.
Oh, you can't see the fight?
No, I can't.
Okay. Okay, then I'll kind of narrate it here. So we see right off the bat you get called for a foul. I'm sure you watched it a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. That I was practicing that in practice, actually, like in the Apex, and I was caught off guard. I thought I was being the one to take the slap first, so I was kind of more embracing that and thinking about that opposed to giving the slap. And then when I found out that I was giving the slap first, I did my measure, and then in practice I always took the little half step back, and that's what got me dialed in. And because I got caught off guard, I didn't do the half step back, and it ended in a foul. Gotcha.
And then now we're seeing Bryce, returning the foul, the blow that ended the match. Before that, kind of getting ready to receive, your first slap, up there on stage, like kind of what was going through your mind?
Honestly, I was firing on all cylinders. I was screaming at myself inside. Like I was just ready to go, ready to take this. You're going to eat this. You're going to take this, and you're going to keep going, and you're going to stand back up. If you get down, and you're going to fucking sleep him the fuck out. Mm-hmm. First one was a mistake, but the second one's going to be way better.
Were you cognitive? Like, do you remember back at that moment?
Yeah, I do actually. I remember hearing the counting. I was listening to Mark Smith there count up to 7 until he counted it. I figured I was going to be able to stand up by then, but it took the wind right out of me. I just couldn't do it.
Gotcha, my man. I mean, we look forward to seeing you up there again. See you doing your thing and moving on to round 2. So hopefully we get you back in the winner's circle again.
Yes, sir. You'll see me again for sure.
Awesome, Cody. Take care, my man.
Take care, bud.
All right. There we go, Ding. Fellow Canadian up there. We're 2 down, 2 more to go. We keep on rolling along the way. You know what, man? Like, I don't know, dude. The more I get into it, to get to know the backstory of these fighters, and actually be able to see, these guys, it just honestly captivates and draws me in. I think Road to the Title has given a lot of guys the opportunity and the platform to showcase their personalities, to get the fans to fall in love with them and their story. And, it's one of the exciting things that I enjoy about doing this here, the Final Slap, and doing our interviews, is that we get to know these fighters on an in-depth level, what makes them tick, on a daily basis, even just outside, because we sometimes don't get to see them all that often, especially if they only have, 2-3 fights a year. And so great to be able to get that in-depth analysis and look, and something that really gets me fired up. Wouldn't you agree?
It's a great thing, man. I think a common theme, I guess, between some of these guys is hardship, adversity, some form of overcoming struggle, and I think that lends itself to what you see up there on stage. You see a lot of people who have families, things to fight for, and then you have other guys who kind of are on an island by themselves, right? Like a Dakota McGregor really doesn't have a whole lot of people in the world, that are blood related to him that he knows of, that are there to support him. So I think or Riley Montoya, who's a guy who's living out of his car at some point in time. I mean, there's just, like you said, I think that's the hook, line, and sinker. If everybody would just listen to these guys' stories, you could not like it, whatever it is, criticize the sport, but you can't hate people for doing whatever they can to provide for their families and get themselves out of a situation that they don't want to be in.
100%. All right, let's bring Hunter in. Hunter, what's up, my man?
Hey, what's going on?
Good, man. Sorry we're running a little bit late. I know you've been sitting there in the wing. Hopefully you've been entertained.
This is awesome.
Awesome, my man. With the beautiful mustache like that, I got to get some with you. I need you to turn your camera sideways, all right?
Yeah, I could do that for you.
If we can, fill that screen. Perfect. There we go. Get a little more light in your face. We're getting somewhere. How's things, man? Watching that back, what do you think seeing yourself up there on the big screen?
Oh my gosh, it's so surreal. It's like playing a video game. Seriously. It's hilarious.
It's a video game in real life. May seem like an adult fantasy, I guess, for some people, being in a house with that many guys. 100%. Talk to me, my man. Give me some dirt. These guys just kind of they just brush it off. Everyone's nice, but I want some dirt. What happened in the house, my man?
It's unfortunate. You're coming to the wrong guy for that, because I genuinely got along so well with everyone there. So it's interesting seeing everyone's backstories, who's not getting along with who. You see some real sides of people, that's for sure. Definitely in the later episodes. But I genuinely had no hate. No, it was all love. It's all business. Everyone was there for the same reason.
Yeah.
Having fun with it.
So it looks like there's a common theme going on here. The stash remains. Is this going to be the branding you're going to be going off of?
I mean, shoot, if anyone wants to try and take you, you know where to find me.
Yeah. Ding remembers what the line was. I forget what it was, but you slapped the stash off of, what is it, Ding? He doesn't want to say it now. He's embarrassed. You slapped the stash off the One Nut Wonder or something like that. What was it? He said it himself. Come on, man.
No, I was just asking him how it felt to Slado, because he said Daniel in the show, made the comment about the One Nut Wonder. That was a title he gave himself.
No, he's a class act. He's a champ. I was one of the best people to get to go against. Seriously, I was so stoked. Obviously, we're here for the same reason, but definitely, if I was able to go against anyone, I was glad it was him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you could, from a production standpoint, you could pick a lot of, details about somebody. The fact that they only have one testicle is probably not the one that I would choose.
No.
Obviously there's a backstory though. It's not like we make light of it and it's a little bit of a comedic thing, but the guy had cancer. He had testicular cancer that he needed to have operated so that he could get rid of that. So it's just one of those things, the way he called himself the one nut wonder. I think that's also him making light of a situation that was probably very scary. So to that point, I'll redeem myself here. I wasn't by any means, trying to knock the guy, even though my partner over here is trying to get me in trouble. But anyway, moving on. Talk to us about the stash thing. Sure, you guys made a deal, a bet. Yeah. We really haven't seen that. How did it all come about? You guys were like, "Oh, we're gonna fight each other." You have a mustache, I have a talk to us about what happened.
Yeah, so prior to Devan pulling his pants down, that whole scenario, we're all just chilling there and we're all just like, asking genuine questions to get to know each other a little bit more. We're asking who's fighting who. And my mustache just came along in conversation. Was like, you should put your mustache on the line. I believe it was Jinx who said it. And then me and Daniel just looked at each other and we're like, oh shit, that'd be great. So him and I, shook on it and we add that into our match.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting wager. We've never seen anything like it before. But was part of it? I was actually surprised once all was said and done. Number one, Turpin kind of comes in and becomes like the moral compass, if you will. You gotta you gotta there you go. Perfect way to put it. And then he makes sure that happens. But then you actually are the person who takes his mustache away from him. Two questions about it. Number one, was that part of the original plan? And then number two, somebody in chat asked it also. Was that a Manscaped?
That was one. That wasn't any of our blades or anything like that. That was that was his personal razor. Obviously, we're not going to use one of mine or anything like that. But yeah, that was a part of the original deal. Is the loser got their mustache shaved off, and no, that was his own personal razor.
Got it. And then we see obviously in some of the promos, you are slapping a tree.
Yeah.
Not something that we see every day. We see people slap, unusual objects, but definitely not a tree.
For sure.
What were you training? What was your hope? And in hindsight, would you do it again?
So signing up for Power Slap, I'll let you know this. It was about 11 days from my signing up date. 11 days later, I was in Vegas for Power Slap. So, doing all your filming and everything like that, I'm like, I got to add something, at least a little bit of something. I look in my backyard. I'm like, perfect. I got, I'll slap a tree. I mean, that'll be something. Freaking hurt, but it definitely, helped in some way or form.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely weren't slapping it with all your force. So I'm glad that.
Thought in my face. I definitely was like.
that was some whack technique for sure.
Oh yeah, there's a lot I gotta get on.
Awesome.
Final one from me, and I want you to be just straight up honest. How much? Let me ask you this: how much Power Slap have you watched yourself, as far as the show, before the show, other events?
I would say I started really giving it like full attention probably around when Manny and KO Chris's season. So season 2, that was when I started like watching. I was like, oh, this is freaking cool. This is just like the Ultimate Fighter. Obviously it showed up on my Instagram feed all the time. Like that's, how I got into it basically. And I just, followed it for a bit. And once I started to like get more interest and see more of it show up on my feed, that's when I really started to give it a watch and look at who I'd be going against, what my weight class would be, etc.
And so you've watched some of the numbered cards?
I'm sorry?
Have you watched some of the numbered cards?
Yeah, so I would say I have definite memory from 6 and up. Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this. So you've seen enough fighters recover. Do you think, watching your episode back, for both you and Daniel, do you think Jason Herzog maybe gave you guys a little bit more rope when it comes to recovery than normally? Because I'll be honest with you, my personal opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watching it, I was like, I think he gave these guys a lot more liberty than I've ever seen.
I agree to a standpoint. Definitely, when I got hit, I wasn't clenching down. You could see I just raw dog. I took everything basically. Definitely being up there with the adrenaline rushing. It definitely was something I forgot all about. Was like all the training that we put into it went right out the door. So when I got knocked down and I got hit for that flash second, it was a whoa. But then I felt fine in my own opinion. I definitely, in my own mind, felt like I recovered fine. But when you look back, obviously, it's a destructive beat. But you'll definitely see in later episodes what happens, with stuff along those lines and what happens if you are stumbling crazy like that.
I think we just had a breakthrough here, to be honest with you. We just coined a new term. So if you get hit without clinching down, it is now forever called raw dogging.
Yes, you know what? I caught that. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I was thinking he raw dogged with the one nut wonder, and I was like, you know what? Just stop.
You will live on in infamy that now that act is now been coined by you, my man. Here on Slap News First.
You're first.
Let's get into it, my man. Let's break it down.
Sure. Let's see it.
All right. So you got quite a substantial slap score advantage in this one.
I will say I don't see it.
Oh, you don't see it?
No, sir.
Are you on Android or are you on iPhone?
iPhone.
Okay, so
You tried it. You tried it.
Happen.
You tried to get an Android user. It didn't work.
Yeah, I don't know how to correct this one, my man. But
Yeah.
so we see you
Hold
take
on,
the
Corey.
strike
Just give me
first.
2 seconds. I'll pivot. Just you
Okay,
can take
yeah.
this down. Take this down. You're good.
I got you. Yeah. So we see you go up there. Talk through what's going through your mind, because from a lot of the guys we heard that you didn't know who won the coin toss until you actually got up there on stage. So talk to me through what that methodology is like and kind of where your psyche's at.
For sure. My psyche was at going up there is just like how to get that adrenaline rush that I'm looking for to really like get in the zone per se. I wasn't worried about genuinely getting hit or getting hurt or anything in that standpoint. Obviously, yeah, it's a clean shot to the face, but that's what I was really focused on. You can see it in my face, just like I'm just focused on breathing at that point, just trying to lock in, get up there. I barely noticed the cameras. The only thing I noticed was Daniel getting up there. So getting up there, trying to lock in and figuring out that I hit first, that's definitely a relieving factor, but it definitely wasn't something that I was thinking about really too much.
Awesome, man. Talk to me about Robert Trujillo and how he prepared you for this match.
Yeah, one, freaking an amazing coach. He's definitely exactly who I was looking for in a coach. I don't need to be, as much as Turpin hyped up a lot of people, love or hate him. That's just not for me. I'm not one of those. That it doesn't work for me. I like to really learn, and he gave me a lot of breakdowns, what I could do to be better, what I need to work on, etc. Just in a manner that was just simple and easy to understand. He was great all around. He's a great person, and just was very patient too.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we know, obviously every coach is different for different people, depending on what they need in that particular time. So it's great to see, but overall, the entire experience, Dana, Erica, Frank, like talk to me about how well they treated you, before, during, after the show.
In all seriousness, this is no joke. I have no reason to BS or anything. I felt like at home. Seriously, they were nothing but kind and helpful. Any type of questions or anything, this was obviously it's brand new to everyone, but like for my standing, this is just a surreal experience, way out of any comfort zone. I don't go out much. This is, now I'm in Las Vegas shooting, power slap. That's insane. So they made it such a comfortable process. They made everything very self-explanatory. And, I couldn't have asked anything more. And hopefully, I get to work with them again and get to show off and maybe put this back on the line.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. Let's give this a whirl.
Oh, yeah. I can see it in my face. I'm just trying to breathe.
Yeah. So you won't be able to hear any audio for copyright reasons. But, talk us through this.
Yeah. So wait until I show up. Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know that Dana and Hunter were there. No clue. I know they said they'd be in the show, but some people said they weren't, etc. So right here, I thought that was a nice, clean hit. Seeing him recover like that, I was like, okay, he's got it. And watching back, definitely, location's everything as well. So seeing where I slap and like the slightest bit of your palm being up can help a ton. Being back a bit, it's just really crazy how technical slapping can be. So right here I'm just like once again just trying to focus on breathing. I'm barely clenching, and like I said, I raw dogged it, and you could see it. I'm fucking tripping over my shoes. I wore terrible shoes for this. I stumbled over myself, but I felt myself recover. I felt ready to take another hit. Truthfully, it woke me up. I am stumbling a bit, but teach their own. I definitely understand people's perspectives, and Shit,
Yeah,
I felt good.
I just the sloppy feet is kind of what got me, like,
For
you know,
sure.
where you're kind of dragging your feet. I've seen fights get stopped for less, so I was just I thought he gave you guys a lot of liberty, and you'll see even in this one, you know, the doctor ends up getting involved, but in this one he kind of gives Dan the same, which I thought that at least it was consistent between you both.
Yeah.
But
No,
you'll see, like, he's about to fall off the stage. I mean, he's not okay.
Looking back, like we've both talked about it too. Like I'm trying to remember back about like this whole fight, like before we seen it aired. No clue. I was like, I have no clue on what went down. I can't wait to see what actually happened. You know, I thought I went down to my knee. Like I didn't realize I tripped over myself, and here we are. But no, great opponent. He gave me the work, and he's definitely someone I would say look out for. Definitely hope to see him up there again. He's definitely someone I'd like to go against again, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, just looking at overall, I mean, I personally think your first strike and your second strike looked almost identical. What do you think the difference was that the second strike gets him out of there?
Truthfully, I think either it could be anything. Truthfully, it could be the wear and tear of the first hit. It could be, you know, that precise little location, you know, like you said, the crazy Hawaiian said the button's right here. Some people say the button's right here. I mean, if you could take the hit, you could take the hit. I mean, it's truthfully what I think it just comes down to.
Awesome, man. What's your family heritage background?
Yeah, so I'm a mutt. My mom is Swedish and Hungarian, and my dad is Egyptian.
Okay, gotcha. Talk to us about your tats, because I mean, I don't know. It's kind of an odd combo.
Oh, dude, I'm all over the place with tattoos. Like, truthfully, like a lot of people ask me, "What's the meaning behind it?" And, you know, none, man. Like, I got a couple of meaning, but like they're so hidden. I just like getting tattooed. It's a fun process for me. It's therapeutic. I do it when I can. You know, I just like it. It's a fun time.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you joining us, breaking it down, and look forward to seeing you move on to round 2.
Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure. Have a great one now.
Take care, Hunter.
You too, brother.
Great guy, good fun. Coined a new term. That one wasn't getting past me, dang it. You were gonna let it slide, but you know, I'm there to check you, hold you in line, not let you take the easy way out on this one.
Yeah, you know, I personally thought it was I'd call it more the high road, but you know, so what you do, man. I go high, you go low. It's all good.
Hey, man, we got to balance out somewhere, dude.
All right, everybody in the chat called him Bora. That's fucked up. All right, you guys need to relax. Okay, very nice, great success. Bye bye.
Maybe that'll be his. That'll be his Waco costume next time. Got the power slap jerseys all put together, duct tape down.
I'm aboard that.
Oh,
great movie. Anyway, I like the guy. I think he's full of charisma. You know, normally when you ask people to narrate, they don't, and you kind of got to walk them through it. He was ready to narrate his own fight. It was perfect. Yeah.
100%. Actually, you know what, man? I actually forgot about our boy Vince. He was also victorious. Look at that. The Canadians throwing up the W's, my man.
And Dakota, bro. You're like all over the place.
There's 4 now.
There's a lot. You're tripping. I don't even know what you're
There we go. The Canadians, my man. So I don't know what's going on. Someone in the chat was saying the Canadians finally getting a win. But yeah, they're definitely putting them
I think he was speaking maybe collectively.
Gotcha. Well,
yeah, look, Vince is saying 5-0, right? Yeah.
There we go. 5-0.
Yeah, Beauvair's another one.
100%.
That's your boy. That's your favorite guy.
Awesome, man. We got one more match, don't we?
Yeah, we met. Yep, Brandon Rhodes versus Edward Salazar.
All right, we see Rhodes here in the comments. I haven't been following a little too closely. I don't know if he's going back and forth with people, or what's happening here.
Nah, people were just criticizing him for stepping and all. Look, I mean, what I'll say about any of this stuff is, if it seems egregious, I mean, you guys just saw. I asked Hunter if he thought maybe Jason Herzog gave him a little more rope than we've seen in the past. Like, we try to be straight up. We said it looked like he clubbed whatever. Like, we try to be straight up. Honestly, I wasn't looking at feet this episode. I could have missed something. I don't know. But I mean, if a guy flinches, gets his orbital shattered, I mean, Brandon Rhodes could have jumped in the air for all that it matters. I mean, at the end of the day, the flinch would take precedence. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But to say that, we rarely ever see somebody shatter somebody's orbital bone. So the guy's got some power from somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, let's roll the footage. Let's get into it, and then we'll discuss a little bit more. But a guy that we heard a lot about, there's a lot of rumblings in the underbelly about Brandon Rhodes and what he's going to bring to the division. And so it's the first time that we get to see him up there, and then we see him going up against Edward. Overall, I mean, Brandon has much more of an athletic physique. I love the on one with no measure.
Yeah, this is the slap Jesus right here. I'll never let that go.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to Salazar for taking that shot and still standing there. I mean, that's brutal, right? To get hit, have your eyes shattered like that, and it because he said he felt it, and he went back to his corner. It's funny because we actually talked about this a few weeks ago where it was like, can the coach step in, whatever. Robert Trujillo did an incredible job here at stepping in and advocating for his fighter. He's, he got the attention of the doctors. Hey, he's not good. They came in, looked at him, and they waved the fight off. So I kudos to Robert from a coach's perspective. He didn't try to just say, a lot of coaches would say, yo, you're good, you're fine, get back up there. And he could have really done some serious damage. So kudos to Robert for that. But kudos again to Edward for just that durability, man. I mean, this didn't disappoint, right? When you talk about Mexican spirit, the guy got his whole eye socket shattered, which is probably, I would imagine, I wish we could talk to him, but incredibly painful. And he just goes and says, hey, man, I think something is wrong. Doesn't fall to the ground, doesn't start. I mean, we've seen people who get hit high and they hold their eye and they fall down, and they make a big thing out of it. And this guy just goes back to his corner casually, says, yeah, man, I think something's not right here. And it just impressive to see on both sides. So you got a guy who's incredibly tough, and you got a guy who's got just ungodly power. I don't think there was any losers in that fight, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the first time we've ever seen a coach really, advocate to call the fight off. There's been some talk of really, the role of the coach, calling fights off, and if it's subjective, what does that actually mean? Because obviously we know the coaches are provided by Power Slap; they're not selected by the fighters. But as you said, I think definitely a good call by Robert's behalf, to bring the doctors in to look at that. And like you said, we see a ton of power from Brandon Rhodes. Where do you think he stacks up right now in the middleweight division? I mean, obviously we know what happened with him and, Brandon Bordeaux in this weird twist that we see his fight release from a live event before we actually see him come on to the show. But correct me if I'm wrong. This was at light heavy, wasn't it?
Yeah. He came in at 199. Edward was 204. So, again, even more of a reason. I mean, granted, it doesn't matter if you're 800 pounds, your eye socket is your eye socket. It's one of the most, fragile parts of your facial structure and your bones and your anatomy there. But to be at a weight that big and fighting out of your weight class, and then again, I'm just blown away that he shatters this guy's eye socket, immediately. Edward knows it. I mean, I'm just blown away by both of the guys here.
I think you missed that one up a little bit. I think your eye socket's a lot stronger than your jaw. So the fact you can break your eye socket, that's going to be a much more harder area. So I think it actually just shows that Brandon had even more power. So I think we've seen a lot more broken jaws than we have seen broken orbital bones. And you're going to go to Google for it to fact check.
Man, come on, man. You're not going to call me out like that. I mean, I'm working medicine.
I'm pretty sure, man. But either way, great to see this battle. Do you think we see Edward back? I mean, we did, obviously we didn't get to see him, perform his strike. We know that, Power Slap. I mean, we've seen it on both ways where we've seen guys come back if they see that toughness. Do you think this is one of those opportunities?
I hope so. I mean, again, I don't think anybody lost that fight. It's an unfortunate series of events, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Again, you see a lot of toughness from Edward, and the guy stood there and got his orbital bone shattered, and there you go. Anthony Blackburn saying he got his broken. So there's a couple different things I'm getting. One is that the lacrimal bone, which is the bridge connecting to your nose here, is the most fragile, which obviously would be the more medial part. So it wouldn't fit that criteria, but I'm sure your orbital bone structure is probably not extremely durable, man.
Yeah, either way, obviously Brandon Rhodes getting that victory. We like what we saw in this one. And we're going to see these guys going on. And really, I think it's setting up really well. I know we've got the preview for next week, and we're going to go back to the 155s. Kind of jacked me up at the end of that, honestly, right before we came on air. When I seen that finish, the preview of the next episode kind of got me, excited again. So let's play it. I think they've done a phenomenal job the way they're cutting these stories. I know you talked about it, Ding, before we got on, but they're really doing a phenomenal job with production overall this entire show. See the Brandon Kerr and the Chief.
Yeah, look at Rod. Rod's like, yo, chill, guys, relax, we're good. We see security in there. Yeah. That's a good one. Our boy Shocky's back.
Dakota McGregor's back.
Riley Montoya, who we thought might have
check out that eye, man, on him.
Yeah, he got a nice shiner there. We thought he might get another chance. Mm-hmm. He slapped the drool out of him. What a line. Beauvais, King DeFrank. That'll be another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Isaac Gunther is going to face off against, I believe, Shell Shockey, if I'm not mistaken. Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cor. I can't let you get away with this, man. I got to address it. It says the rim is made from the thick bones. The base of the rim is part of the cheekbone, and the upper rim is part of the frontal bone in your forehead. Other parts of the eye socket, including the floor and area around the nose, are paper thin and can break easily. That's where my head was at. I was thinking like an egg when you crack like a hard-boiled egg and it does that spidering. That's where my head was at.
Got you, my man.
If somebody wants to come at me for that, I'll take it. It's fine. It's all good.
We'll see, my man. We'll see how it goes. Moving on here into Power Slap, dude.
Well, Anthony Blackburn can tell us what it's like to break your orbital because he said he did. So
yeah. Did Austin as well? When Ron got his face all jacked, I think the first time around.
I don't think he broke it.
I actually remember that because correct me. I mean, Anthony, you're still here. I believe. Did we see you back at Palace, Anthony, and you couldn't take your flight home because you weren't cleared to medically fly?
Dude, we could probably get Anthony up here right now to tell us about it.
I'm sure we could, yeah. If you want to work that, because I actually remember that, because that was the first time I met Anthony Blackburn. And I remember him on FaceTime with his mother after the fight when he had his face all battered up. And I remember his mom saying, "Did you prove your point now, Anthony? Did you prove your point?"
Dude, you can't be breaking the fourth wall on the champion like that, man. You got to put some respect on his name.
No, dude, I'm sure he'll tell it, man. He's a family man.
Tell us stories about the champion's mom. Come on, bro.
Yeah, but dude, why else would you listen to us two knuckleheads? Because apparently I don't know if the jawbones are.
Well, you're talking about guys raw dogging the one nut one. I mean, come on, bro. You're like fucking. Look at this. Asking you shall receive. It's like Luke Simon said when you knock somebody out. It's like magic, right? There it is. It's like magic. Anthony Blackburn, the champion, not babyface right now. Him and Wolverine seem to have switched.
Yeah, I definitely haven't shaved in 2 months.
So tell us a little bit about this orbital socket stuff.
So yeah, it was the inside, right? On this one.
Oh, that's what you got broken, the inside.
The inside.
The most fragile bone in the face, Corey, the lacrimal. You're welcome. Call me Professor Ding. Oh my God. Are you really doing that right now? And yes, do you see this fucking guy?
And yes, they did keep me an extra day so I could get medically checked out.
Yeah. And talk to me about that phone call with your mother, because I vividly remember that. Tell me what it was like.
I mean, I don't remember that conversation anymore that much, but okay. I know that she would probably be scolding me because I looked pretty rough after that fight.
Absolutely. Come on, buddy. I need that belt over your left shoulder. I need you to twin me on this one. There we go.
I got to unbutton it. And
wait, so who's the real champion then?
Ding. I don't care, buddy. Do you feel left out now?
No, what are you, Ding? My belt is up there.
What are you, Ding?
My belt is right.
Where's your belt, Ding?
Right there, look. Fuck.
We can't see it.
You can't see it. What are you trying to do? Like trying to fucking Arnold to the fucking Arnold to the beach or what?
Yeah,
buddy?
Look, it's right there. You see it on the screen? You see my belt? That's mine right there.
What happened? What, I don't know what's going on here.
I left it in Canada because America was trying to charge me too much to get it home.
You're gonna take the customs on it, eh? Anthony, how you keeping, my man? We see you're out there fishing. Was it just a joke, or did you actually drop your belt in the bottom of the lake?
River, and yeah, I did.
Why did you have your belt at the lake?
Listen, I was trying to get some shots of me catching some fish with the belt on the back of the kayak. I didn't really strap it down, and it slid off. I panicked, tried to get my paddle down, and I'm telling you, I dropped it in like 5-6 foot of river water, like rushing water. I just seen the bubbles, got my landmarks, parked my kayak back in shore, and waded in. I'm like up to my neck, feeling with my toes around, and like scoop it with my toes, and got it back and went fishing after I put it away. You know, I would have been scuba diving until I found it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have let it go.
Yeah. So if you think we're not asking Dana what his thoughts are on that at the next post-fight press conference, you are sadly mistaken.
That's fine.
Well, if you ever need a replacement, buddy, I got your back. All right.
He's got multiple, bro. Hilarious. Well, thank you for that insight. How does it feel when you have does it hurt to even look around? Like, what does it feel like?
No, it didn't really affect me any. I healed in like 2 weeks time and good to go. I think it actually probably healed stronger, if anything, you know.
Oh, so you think you're like Wolverine? You're like coated in titanium.
That's when your bone repairs itself, it heals back stronger. It's like science, you know. Google that one.
Hey, don't be taking a side, bro. You're American. Fuck this guy.
Otherwise, my man, how you been keeping, dude? You seem to be staying active. You seem to be busy. You know, congrats, man. You're working that social like always and trying to grow your following. How's things?
It's been good, man. I've been just like you said, out on the kayak, ripping it up. Things have been really good. Can't complain at all.
I'm assuming you watched the episode.
Oh, for sure.
What'd you think of it was Brandon Rhodes, right? Right on one, and he's like no measure.
The no measure is crazy to me, and I
love it.
Right. I commented too. I'm like, man, it really looked like you had a lot more in the tank if you would have measured and actually wound up good, because there's so much rotation left there.
So the right on one army does not condone no measures.
No, it's it. Right on one is right on one. You can, I still have that in the back pocket if I choose to not measure, but they might change the rules back. They've like flip-flopped it a few times now.
Listen, not measuring is risky business, man.
If you know where your hand's going, you know where it's going. If you're confident like that and you got it, I mean, run it.
That's much watched TV, man, seeing that.
Yeah, I love it. I'll never forget. Slab Jesus looked around like he was fucking checking for the police. He's just like,
Manny did it too. Manny did it right out of the back pocket and looked like Mike didn't even see it coming.
And then one more quick thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago. You were the first person, as far as I can remember, to absorb an illegal wind-up strike.
There's been another one. It was this season. Luke Simon.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you were the first one against Andrew Fields, and then Luke does it. Obviously, for whatever reason, both of you guys didn't go down on the strike that you would think you would go down on.
So yeah, that's a like raw dogging a slap is. I've done it twice now. I did it versus Jimmy. I got a raw dog on that fight. My very first one, my very first slap taken, and then that one where Andrew hit me on the second measure.
I have to know: is this a new term, or is this something that we legitimately all just made up right now?
I would definitely
are we missing it.
I would coin it. I haven't really thought of a good one. So that one's nail on the head, I think.
Just to confirm, we can make history right here, right now on Slab News. You've never heard anybody call it that before today.
Not in this case, no. So, and I think that the raw dog is like catching on. There's like a trend right now. When you're like going through life with no electronics and no nothing to like pass the time, you just raw dog in life. That's what people are doing now.
Or you can make the crazy Hawaii and have 6 kids. He must be a professional at raw dogging it too.
Exactly.
Lots of terms for it.
Hunter's raw dogging with the one nut wonder. I mean, this is bizarre.
Isn't that crazy? He's
Dude,
from
the
Michigan
sport-
too.
New
That's so
heights,
wild.
brother. New heights. A lot of raw dogs.
Yeah.
I definitely think that the term fits though. I would rock with it.
That's amazing. Well, we've got a cosign from a real champion, Corey.
Absolutely. Absolutely, my man. We got some deep insight, working every channel, talking to every ma and pop that I could find in Michigan. And I hear you might be going salmon fishing in the coming week.
Oh, now you're really digging.
I am really digging, my man.
So,
dude, I pick up that phone book, buddy. I've called everybody on your street.
Okay. Yeah, me and the super fan might go after some salmon. I got to upgrade my tackle a little bit, get away from the light bass fishing rig and get some real tackle and go after some big red salmon.
So you have the super fan and then you have the fight fan. Who's a bigger fan?
Oh, I mean, if you guys saw Don's collection of memorabilia, you would know. So I'm going to have to say Don.
Oh, dude, breaking news. The fight fan's not really a real fight fan. Oh bro.
That's totally not what I was saying, but
yeah.
You got to know.
Bro, you have to have memorabilia. You got to have
Don's collection
or you're not a real fan. It's that simple.
He's got an unrivaled collection. He's got stuff that you not are going to be able to get.
I think he has to change his Instagram handle to Don's collection. That'd be perfect. But I actually have a funny story, man. So when I was actually playing hockey growing up, I was like 16 years old. I actually went to Sioux, Michigan. This was a preseason game, which is kind of coming up, second week of September. And I remember seeing the salmon run between Sioux, Michigan, Sioux, Ontario. And you could literally see the salmon just sitting there in the water. Everybody's fishing for them, and not a single one was biting them. But it was the first time I've ever seen thousands of fish, as you talked about. I remember there's the bright redness of them, just thousands, and literally sitting there, and people are literally trying to almost, snag them on the side. And these guys wouldn't bite for whatever reason. I know for some reason they spawn in the fall, I guess, in the Great Lakes. And so you're gonna go try your luck and see if you can get yourself some good eats.
And it's my first time too. I never really went and targeted salmon like that, so it's gonna be my first real big sport fishing trip, I think. It's gonna be nice.
Gotcha, buddy. I suggest to leave the belt at home, but if you do decide to take it, I got an extra one in case you need it, buddy.
Yeah, we'll probably be locking it away while we're out camping and stuff,
Awesome, my man. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me on,
Thanks
guys.
for jumping in, brother. Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Take care, man. All right, Ding.
Well, that was fun.
It was fun, man.
A lot more advanced than usual, bro.
Got a new term out of this. I think it's gonna catch on. Ding, you'll have to clip it.
You know what?
Verified.
The universe is all in equilibrium, bro. Chin Reaper and fucking Killmartin are in the chat going at it. Everything's where it's supposed to be. You know what? Here, I'm gonna say this here now. I don't know if Sean Killmartin's under contract, and if you are, then disregard what I'm about to say. But if you're not, I know Chin Reaper's not under a Power Slap contract. We happen to know guys who are putting on a slap event in the United States of America. If you can make that happen, Sean Killmartin, I believe that we can probably make that happen for you guys. We can put in a good word for you. You guys can actually settle this beef. May not be on a Power Slap stage, but it'll be on a stage and it'll be in front of a lot of people, and we will absolutely cover it. So I'm just saying, we appreciate the comments because engagement is great, but you guys go at it way too fucking much. I'm just trying to settle this here. Let's take it to where it belongs, and let's actually watch you guys compete. But before all that, Corey, we got something going on this weekend for Chin Reaper.
But there's actually another opportunity. If that all doesn't work out, you could be on the undercard of Amir Nuruddin versus Jesse Nutting at the Hobby Lobby, taking place in Bellevue, Washington. All right. So worst comes to worst, you have a backup plan.
Well, all that just went out the window because he is contracted. So therefore, I take back everything I just said. Chin Reaper, September 7th, Slap Fight Championship. Gonna see if he's gonna put his. Can I come up with something witty? Chin where his
pickle is.
I don't fuck. His pickle where his chin is. I don't know, man. I tried.
What kind of slap match is going on there,
It didn't work. It didn't work. Hey, bro, listen. If you ain't raw dogging the one nut wonder, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't know, my man.
Thank you guys for watching us idiots every week. Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll keep doing it. We just passed the halfway mark of the season, episode 7. 5 episodes left. We assume we could absolutely be wrong. It could be 3 episodes back. We don't know. We assume there's 5 episodes left. /hope there's 5 episodes left. We're back with the lightweights next week. Thank you guys so much. Lots of interviews coming out. Pono dropping tomorrow. KO Chris, you guys probably didn't even know we did that. That's dropping Friday. The winners, the losers, all types of people that you didn't think you would hear from, you're going to hear from on Slab News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. I mean, we appreciate all the support, of course, but we want to grow the sport together. So your shares mean everything to us. Get it out to your fan base and beyond. So much love to you guys. And thanks for listening to us for an hour and 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Shout out to F3. Where else, my man?